Aloha class, I wanted to do a video for in-class assignment number 26, and so I've just put up some tips that I would use if I were you for the make or the buy decision. And so for the make or the buy decision, we want to eliminate any future costs that don't differ between alternatives because they are irrelevant. So when we do the make side, I usually put that on the left side, and the buying side I put on the right. You can do it whatever way, but you only want the cost of buying the product on the right side. So make sure you only put the cost of buying, right? So if it's $14 per door, I would just put $14 on the buy side and no other costs on the buy side, just for simplicity purposes, and that can help eliminate any irrelevant costs, just the buy price on the buy side. And only include the fixed manufacturing overhead that is avoidable or relevant. So all of the unavoidable or irrelevant overhead, fixed manufacturing overhead, we're going to eliminate from the equation. Just take that out. And then opportunity costs are added to the make side. So you're losing potential money by making product and not renting out that space. So yes, we are losing out on that revenue, but we're talking about costs. So when you're not making revenue, that's a cost of making the product. So hopefully so it's a cost of not renting out that space, and because you're making it yourself. So you're losing out on money, and that's a cost of making your product. And so I've already circled or highlighted the correct answer. Fixed costs could be eliminated means a cost is avoidable. Is avoidable cost or relevant? So just be aware of that in the problems. So currently you have that they're manufacturing 40,000 doors, and it looks like it costs them 640,000. So this would be your make side. I don't know how well this is going to work in here. So make side says 640,000, but there's costs in there that are irrelevant. So some of this fixed manufacturing overhead, it can't be eliminated even if you buy the product. So even if you buy it, you're gonna still have to pay for it on the make and the buy side. So this could be, general overhead that still has to be paid no matter what. And so in order to make these more comparable, we're not going to use the 640,000, but we're going to use the relevant costs. So if you're going to make this, the relevant costs are 200,000 for the direct materials. That is relevant. So I'll just keep this, I'm just moving this down here. So direct materials are relevant, direct labor is relevant, 40,000. Variable manufacturing overhead, right? So it depends on the number of units you're producing, so that variable cost is relevant. And then finally, only the fixed manufacturing overhead has a portion. So I'm not going to use the full 320. I'm only going to use the relevant portion, which could be eliminated. So what could be eliminated? If MC, let's go back, manufactures doors that it uses for its microwave ovens, the annual cost to manufacture 40,000 doors is right here. D Corporation has offered to provide MC with all of its annual door needs for $14 per door. So they are offering us $14 per door, which is not a total amount. If MC accepts this offer, only 60% of the overhead costs could be totally eliminated. So that means 40% are going to continue with the make and the buy side. So remember, the only avoidable or relevant portion is that 60%. So 60% is relevant. So I'm only going to take 60% of my fixed manufacturing overhead. 60% times it by the 320,000. So let's do that math. 60%, bring the calculator in. 60% or 0.6 multiplied by the 320,000 would give you 192,000. So that part could be eliminated if you were to, or that part could, be eliminated if you were to buy it over here, but that's the part that's relevant for the make side. So they have no alternative use, so no opportunity costs. So we're including only the fixed manufacturing overhead that's relevant. We did that, and they have no opportunity costs, which are added to the make side. So that's the opportunity costs. MC has no alternative use for the idle facilities if the decision was made to go with these offer. Based on the information, would MC be better off to make the doors or buy the doors, and by how much? And so now we have all of our costs here. So you could either try to convert this to a per unit and make it more comparable, or convert this to a total. So I think we're already on totals on the make side. So let's add up those totals. So we have 192,000. I'll add 80,000, 40,000, and 200,000. Plus 80,000, 40,000, and 200,000. So total on the make side is 512,000. On the buy side was $14 per door, and we're making 40,000 doors. So let's do that math. 40,000 doors multiplied by $14 per door. 560,000. So initially 560,000 versus 640,000 looked like a better deal to buy, but when we take out the irrelevant costs and only use the avoidable or relevant costs, it looks like it's a better decision to make the product because it's cheaper. And how much is it cheaper? The buying is 560,000 minus the 512,000. So we're going to favor better to make by 48,000. Yep, so better to make it. So I would answer 48,000 better to make. I would answer B for number 2. And so we're going to use the same process, but this time I think this part, it just gives you the dollar amount, so it doesn't give you a percentage, and then it does have an opportunity cost, which we're going to add to the make side. And so let's add in a table maybe to make it clear. Let's insert a table this time. And we're going to do make over here and buy. So like we said before, direct materials are relevant. Direct materials, 20,000. Relevant direct labor, 55,000. Variable manufacturing overhead is 45,000. And then fixed manufacturing overhead, I'm going to decide fixed manufacturing overhead, what part is relevant and what part is not relevant. And so we're making motor company manufactures 10,000 units, and this is what they break down. And then they have an offer. Valve company offers $18 per unit, so that's our $18 per unit. I only want one number on the buy side, and that's the price that they're offering. And then they say that they could rent, so there's an opportunity cost on the make side of 15,000. So remember, I'm just going back to the hints. So only using the cost of buying, that's on the buy side, and then opportunity costs are added to the make side. So I'm adding that opportunity cost of rented to a third party. So if you go buy it, you can rent out this space and make 15,000. And then $4 per unit. $4 per unit is relevant, could be totally eliminated, is avoidable, eliminated, or relevant. So $4, since these are all on a total, this is per unit, let's make them all on a total basis. So $4 multiplied by our number of units, which was 10,000 units. 10,000 units equals $40,000 for fixed manufacturing overhead. That's relevant to the decision. $18 per unit multiplied by 10,000 units. And then let's see our totals over here on the bottom. So total, I'm going to add up 20,000, 55,000, 45,000, 40,000, and 15,000. Okay, let me just double check that I got those numbers. 20,000, 55, 45, 40,000 plus 15,000 equals 175,000. On the make side, and the buy side is 18 times 10,000. Oh, sorry. 18 times 10,000, 180,000. So it still looks like it's going to be better to make, and how much is it going to be better to make? 100 minus 175,000, it's going to be 5,000 cheaper. So I want the lower cost. These are costs. We don't want this isn't revenue. So we want the lower cost, 5,000 cheaper to make. Let's Just like before, it was better to make because it was smaller or cheaper. This is $5,000 cheaper. So don't accept the offer because it's $5,000 cheaper to make the part. So no, don't accept the offer. And that's it for the rest of this video.